Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven and I love talking about horror. And Happy New Year. Here's hoping that 2022 will treat us a little better than 2021, or just maybe that we've become so numb the past 2 years that nothing phases us anymore. Either way, yay, New Year. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. So happy you found my channel. There's no better way to start the new year than by becoming a creepy peep, at least in my opinion. If you're returning, welcome back. So I was kind of hesitant to make this video, or at least include so many titles of movies and books I'm excited for, because the past 2 years things have been moved around, pushed back so many times that it's hard to get excited for something and then have the studio or whatever it is tell you that it's not coming out for another year. So I kept my list, both for movies and books, relatively short just in case, but let's go ahead and start with the movies. As I was looking at the intended releases for horror this year, I can already feel the film bros getting ready to just type and complain all year that it's
nothing but remakes and reboots. Blah, 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 blah.
But I gotta say, even if I'm not excited for every single one of the remakes, reboots, sequels, whatever this year, I am excited that a couple more franchises are getting love this year and it's not just another Halloween movie, you know? So speaking of remakes, reboots, and sequels, the first movie we're getting this year, and definitely one of the biggest releases this year already, is Scream. We're starting off real strong in 2022. I love the energy. I am equal parts excited and terrified for this. This is my favorite franchise. So obviously I have expectations, but it's been so long since the last sequel, and this is the first installment in this franchise where Master Wes Craven is not behind the camera. So the anxiety is high. I've only seen the first teaser trailer for this. I don't know if there's any other trailers released so far. I won't watch them. If there are, I'm just gonna wait to see the movie. But it's clear from the teaser alone that we've kind of got a new final girl, a new focus for Ghostface. So if this movie goes well, we have the potential for more Scream movies, likely without our golden trio, which I'm okay with. It makes sense if they want the franchise to live on and to keep going. Eventually we're gonna have to move away from Sidney Prescott. We'll have next Saturday's video, and then the one after that is gonna be a come with me for Scream. So next one I'm really excited for is You Won't Be Alone, which is set to release on April 1st, and it's the directorial debut of Lauren Stolevsky. Probably said that wrong. The movie is going to take place in 19th century Macedonia, where a young girl is kidnapped and then transformed into a witch by an ancient spirit. Curious about life as a human, the witch accidentally kills someone in a nearby village and takes her victim's shape and lives in her skin. Curiosity ignited, she continues to wield this power to understand what it means to be human. That summary alone is a lot to take in. Definitely sounds super unique, not like any movie I've ever seen before, so I'm super excited about it. And predictably, I'm into anything that has to do with witches, so if it's a new kind of exciting take on like the witch trope, the witch character, I'm down, say less. It also sounds like it's going to dip into many different genres, not just horror, but that's what makes it exciting also. And then in July, we will have a new Jordan Peele movie. I didn't write down the exact date. Why didn't I? I think it's like the 22nd or something like that. We'll have Nope, which is the latest Jordan Peele movie. The only information we have about this project so far is a cast, a title, and a poster. But the poster alone just has me intrigued. I have like just so many thoughts. It definitely looks like a carnival setting, and then there's like that mysterious cloud at the top with like the banners that look like it's coming from the cloud. It kind of gives me like Killer Clowns, Something Wicked This Way Comes vibes. Like, you know, like a circus slash carnival just popping up out of nowhere, and it's kind of sinister and dark. Don't know if that's what the movie is gonna be, but the poster, that's what it's given me. I doubt it's gonna stay so mysterious for long, and I love that everybody's talking about it already, even though we only have a poster. So there is no word yet on exactly when the new Hellraiser movie is coming out. We just know it's going to be sometime this year and it's going to be on Hulu. According to the Wikipedia page for it though, the movie will follow more closely with the original source material, aka Clive Barker's novella, The Hellbound Heart. I gotta say though, I'm not really a fan of the Hellraiser franchise, which may come as a shock as to why I put this on my most anticipated list. I've watched the first like 4, I think, installments of this franchise as an attempt to get into it because there is so much that I want to like about it, and I've just, for whatever reason, never been able to get into it. I'm actually kind of excited for this because maybe it'll ignite something in me that wants to be excited about this, and maybe I'll become a super fan of the franchise. I don't know if I want to go that far. But you know, it could happen, and it gives me an excuse to read the novella, which is awesome because I've never read any Clive Barker before, so I definitely plan to before this movie hits. Speaking of novellas turned movie, the last most anticipated for me horror movie coming out this year is Dark Harvest. So this was supposed to come out, I think like September, October of this past year, but it got pushed back, obviously. And it is now set for release on September 23rd, which makes sense because this is a Halloween horror movie. I do own the novella, but I was holding off on reading it until right before the movie came out, which obviously didn't happen this year, so I'm gonna hold off again to read it right before the movie comes out. The novella takes place in a Midwestern town where every year teenage boys wait to confront the October Boy, or Sawtooth Jack, who rises from the cornfields every Halloween, butcher knife in hand. Kind of like the Great Pumpkin, but scarier. Apparently there is like a competition, I guess, every year. People try to kill the October Boy, and I guess there's a huge like life-changing monetary prize if you are successful in doing so. I know like a lot of you guys out there, we love horror movies, horror books that are set around Halloween. I'm very excited for this one, so fingers crossed it actually gets a release date this year. Now on to the books that I'm most excited for. At the end, I will also give y'all a little sneak peek as to what the Creepy Book Club is going to be reading for 2022. If you happen to not catch my live stream on Thursday, which I did reveal those reads. You'll get a sneak peek along the way because about half of these on my most anticipated list are Creepy Book Club reads for 2022. So first up is Devil House, which follows a true crime writer that moves into an infamous old house where 2 grisly murders took place, a la the Satanic Panic era of the 80s. Obviously scary shit is gonna go down. I'm getting already like blurred lines between fiction and reality with kind of like the true crime aspect. I've never read anything from this author before, but the cover looks amazing and I'm super excited, and it comes out this month. It comes out on the 25th. So Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin will be our March read for Creepy Book Club. It comes out February 22nd, so you'll be able to grab it just in time for March. It's being marketed as Why the Last Man Meets the Girl with All the Gifts. Where do I sign up? So this is meant to be like a post-apocalyptic world, kind of similar, I guess, to Why the Last Man. Instead of all the cisgendered men dying, they become like feral, vicious monsters in this. And so our protagonists are a group of trans men and trans women just trying to navigate this world, and it sounds fascinating. The story sounds awesome. The cover, superb. I'm in. I'm down. So the latest release from historical fiction horror master Alma Katsu is The Fervor, and it comes out on April 26th. True to form, this book takes historical events and gives them a supernatural twist. The Fervor takes place during World War II in a Japanese-American internment camp where a mother and daughter contend with a disease that is ripping through the camp. But of course, it's not just any disease. What's affecting the prisoners may be more sinister. And by more sinister, I mean like in a demonic sense. I am not going to try and butcher the name of this because I'm just not, so I'm gonna put it up on the screen. But according to the summary, the story is partially inspired by Japanese, I guess, folklore and mythology, specifically this name, which is a spider demon. And as somebody who's terrified of spiders, this makes me excited. I'm excited to read this. This sounds awesome. Our June creepy book club pick is going to be The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. Technically it comes out May 10th, but I felt like it was just a little too far into the month to make it the May book, so I made it for June. And it's supposed to be Rebecca meets Mexican Gothic. Set in the aftermath of the Mexican War for Independence and follows Beatriz, who marries the handsome Don Rodolfo despite the rumors about his first wife's sudden demise. Soon, visions and voices begin to invade Beatriz's sleep, and she notices strange behavior from the house staff and from Don Rodolfo's sister, who refuses to enter the estate at night. It sounds like everything I loved about Mexican Gothic, and honestly, I love a good Gothic ghost story, especially lately as we've been getting more of these Gothic tales that take place outside of the stereotypical Gothic setting. And finally, on July 5th, we have a new release from horror author Paul Tremblay, which is The Pallbearers Club. The title alone, I'm intrigued. And this sounds like it's going to be a book within a book. So I'm just going to read the official summary for you. I feel like it'll be a little bit easier to explain. What if the coolest girl in school you ever met decided to be your friend? Art Barbara was so not cool. He was a 17-year-old high school loner in the late 1980s who listened to hair metal and had to wear a monstrous back brace at night for his scoliosis, and started an extracurricular club for volunteer pallbearers at poorly attended funerals. But his new friend thought the Pallbearers Club was cool, and she brought along her Polaroid camera to take pictures of the corpses. Okay, that part was a little weird. So was her obsessive knowledge of a notorious bit of New England folklore that involved digging up the dead. And there were other strange things, terrifying things, that happened when she was around, usually at night. But she was his friend, so it was okay, right? Decades later, Art tries to make sense of it all by writing The Pallbearers Club, a memoir. But somehow this friend got her hands on the manuscript and, well, she has some issues with it, and now she's making cuts. All of that sounds fascinating. It's like a crazy weird premise, but it's like the kind of weird that I might need right now, and it just sounds awesome. I love a good meta story also, and this definitely sounds like it's gonna check that box. Before I sign off, here are our 2022 Creepy Book Club reads, just for the first half of the year, to plan them in advance so you can maybe pick and choose which ones you wanna read with us, or if you're busy a certain month, you already know what's coming in the next month so you don't feel like you're falling behind. So we will be starting off with A Lesson in Vengeance for January, which is supposed to be like a gothic, sapphic, dark academia tale. I'm dying to dive into it. I can't wait to read it. My social links are in the description if you want to stay up to date on like when the live stream discussion will be. There's also a link to the Goodreads page if you prefer to interact that way. I'm gonna have both up. We're gonna do the live streams every month. I'll have the Goodread page still going, so however you prefer to discuss the book. So those are my most anticipated horror books and movies for 2022. Please, of course, share yours in the comments so I can keep an eye out for more books and movies. And that's it. First video of the year. Done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post a new video every Saturday. So I will see you next week with said new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.